What's up, guys? Welcome to G Whiskey. I'm Jeff. I've got a list for you guys today. We're going to be going over 5 whiskeys that you probably like more than I do. Should be fun. Stick around. Alright, so you guys know the premise. These are 5 whiskeys that you like that I don't. And obviously, I don't know you. Unless I do, but I probably don't. So you might also not like these, but don't worry about it. It's just a title. I'm just trying to get some clicks, man. All of these whiskeys come in at 46% or higher, except one. These are all age-stated whiskeys, so there's no easy targets here. These are all whiskeys that are considered pretty solid by most people. Because, of course, I could pick on someone easy like Jura, but then I would have to rename this video 5 whiskeys that you don't like, that I also don't like, which does not have the same ring to it. The way this works is I've organized the whiskeys from least to most popular, and that's based on whatever I think is popular and absolutely nothing else. Number 1 will upset a few people, and obviously that is something that YouTubers say to make sure people stick around to the end of the video, but it will, so you should stick around. And listen, if you like these whiskeys, if you're a big fan, feel free to yell at me down in the comments, that's fine, but think about it this way. Most people would have a list like this, obviously different whiskeys, but most people would have a list of a few whiskeys that are very well respected, well regarded within the enthusiast community that for whatever reason, they just don't really get along with. And these ones are just mine. And hey, you never know, maybe at some point down the line, I will change my mind on these bottles. Maybe I'll come around to them. It has happened before, but for now, it's a pass for me. Fine, maybe not a pass. I'll drink pretty much anything, but I'm not excited about them. As always, I have a mystery pour in the glass. This is another one that is definitely going to upset a few people, so make sure you stick around to the end of the video. I'll share with you what that is. Your hint for today is that this one will especially upset Pete heads and fans of anything that comes out of Campbelltown. So that's your hint. Good luck guessing. Let's not waste any more time. Let's jump into our review. In the meantime, it's not a review, it's a list. In the meantime, where was I? In the meantime, if you'll kindly leave a like down below, that would be greatly appreciated. All right, kicking things off at number 5, I've got the Glengoyne 12, but actually I could broaden that and just say the Glengoyne brand in general. Now, Glengoyne is not a bad brand, and the 12 is not a bad whiskey. It's just that I've always been kind of meh on it. It's never done much for me. This is the only whiskey on this list with weaker specs. This one comes in at 43% ABV, but honestly, that's not really what bothers me about it because there's plenty of whiskeys at 43% that I absolutely love. This is not one of them. Glengoyne is a solid distillate. They have some good sherry-influenced whiskeys, so a lot of their whiskeys are kind of like nutty, very fruity. It's nice. It's just not that interesting. Maybe it's a little bit too middle of the road for me. Maybe it's a little bit predictable. Again, I know a lot of people out there love it, but I'm just looking for more of an angle from them. I need some jazz hands. I just find the stuff kind of forgettable, and that's very much a personal take. So it's really not a knock on Glengoyne's quality. It's just what I happen to connect with as a profile. So Glengoyne, not really one of them, comes in at number 5. Coming in at number 4, I've got Ballechin 10. And before you lose your mind, I like Edredour and I like Ballechin, which is Edredour's peated line. Good whiskeys. I like a lot of their cast strength expressions. I like a lot of their vintage stuff, which is pretty much everything they put out nowadays. A lot of that really good. But the 10 in particular is just a little bit too funky for me. And I understand that that is the appeal for a lot of you out there. And listen, I can get funky too. I once said hello to someone with an afro. They didn't say hello back, but we were pretty cool. But no, I genuinely do like those funky, fermented, farmy elements that you'll find in a lot of Edredours, and this one really should work for me. It's fully crafted, it's 46%, non-chill filtered, natural color, age stated, heavily peated. It sounds great, but I just feel like the peat and those funky elements in this particular expression don't really work together. They kind of pull in different directions, so it's a balance issue for me, which is why I put it at number 4. So number 4 is Ballechin 10. Number 3, more controversy because this whiskey is a darling for a lot of you out there. I've got Glen Garioch 12. I know. Who do I think I am? People have told me over and over again that this is one of their go-to budget-friendly pours, and they say it's unique, which granted it is. They tell me how much they love it, and I just don't. I think it's okay. I always found that this whiskey leaned a little bit too herbal for me. Also, I swear I can taste the caramel colorant, the E150A in this whiskey. And not just this whiskey. There's a few whiskeys out there where I can taste the colorant. Not all, but a lot. I know, another bold claim. I'm full of those today. But yeah, for me, this whiskey is somehow both too weird and too forgettable at the same time. It just doesn't really work for me, and I'm sure that upsets a lot of people out there. I deeply apologize for offending your sensibilities. I swear I'll never do it again. Except I will. There's 2 more whiskeys on this list. You're not going to like them. But yeah, number 3, Glengarioch 12. Number 2 is Loch Lomond 12. A few years back, this stuff skyrocketed in popularity. Everyone was talking about it. And this is another one of those cases where the quality, fair enough, the quality's there, but it's just not something I connect with. I do like the Loch Lomond profile sometimes, although it's not a favorite. It's a very dirty sort of industrial style whiskey. There's lots of caramel in it. It's never particularly complex, but it has some very bold and interesting flavors. For me, I really like the 18. The 12 just never clicked. The 12 should work for me. It's 46%. I'm not sure about chill filtration. It is colored, but yeah, it's an interesting profile. It's an interesting whiskey, but it's just a little bit too simple. It tastes kind of basic for me. I like more subtlety and complexity and, you know, all those things that pretentious whiskey snobs look for in whiskey. I don't get those in the 12. It is solid enough stuff. It's interesting. It's well made, but it's just not a whiskey that resonates with me. I'm not on board with the 12. Give me that 18 any day of the week. Fantastic stuff. 12, I'll give it a miss. Comes in at number 2. Actually, you know what? I'm being a drama queen there. If you offered me Loch Lomond 12, I wouldn't give it a miss. I would take it. I would drink it. I just wouldn't be super excited about it. Number 1 is extremely popular. It is loved by a lot of people out there, and I like it fine. I think it's okay. It's solid. I cannot match the enthusiasm that some people have for this stuff. It's Deanston 12. Deanston is just not my brand, man. And listen, it's fully crafted, it's well made, it's a distinctive profile, it's an extremely floral profile. Usually I like floral profiles. Give me a Glen Garioch. I like a lot of those bright Highland floral whiskeys. This one, something about the florals in this one just don't work for me. I've said this before in previous videos. Deanston for me has kind of a cologne note, like cheap men's Stetson cologne, which fine, smells nice enough. I've never felt compelled to drink it. And what's weird is every time I mention this, no one else chimes in and is like, oh yeah, I get it too. I seem to be the only one, so I might be alone here, but I get it and it puts me off. And the thing is, I do like other Deanstons. I think the 18 is a really nice whiskey. I like the Virgin Oak. It's a solid budget sipper. Another solid budget sipper is the 10-year-old Bordeaux red wine finish, I think it's called. I don't remember. That one was nice too. All of those whiskeys also have this floral cologne type note in them, but for me it's most pronounced in the 12, and that's precisely what puts me off about the 12, whereas I can deal with the other one. So comes in at number 1, Deanston 12. I'm so sorry. Man, I gotta stop apologizing. I've said sorry like 4 times already in this video. And I don't even live in Canada anymore. Alright guys, that was the list. I hope you enjoyed it. And this is a really fun question to send out to you guys. I'm looking forward to reading the comments here. What popular or very well regarded whiskeys just don't work for you? And remember, no easy targets here. These are respected bottles that you just can't get behind for some reason. Let me know down below in the comments. Finally, if you stuck around to find out what the mystery pour is here, this will make someone out there's head explode. Your hint was that this is a heavily peated Campbelltown that enthusiasts love. What I'm drinking is Kilkerran heavily peated peat in progress. I've got batch 7 here from 2022. It's not bad. It's solid enough stuff, but it's just a little bit too young and too loud. I don't get the appeal. I don't get the hype. It's just nice. That's it. I think it's pretty simple. I think it needs a few more years. It's solid enough as is, but I don't get what makes it so beloved. I mean, I must be missing something here. I've tried a few batches before. I've tried the 3, I've tried obviously the 7, and I think I've tried the 8, maybe the 9. I've tried 1 after this. None have impressed, all just okay. To be honest, I'd rather have a regular long grow. And I do realize this is blasphemy. Fine, this is not from the Springbank distillery, but it is Springbank adjacent, and I'm not head over heels in love with it. So once again, and for the last time, sorry, buddy. And that brings us to the end of the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Again, really looking forward to the comments section here. I think it's going to be really interesting. If you want to help support the channel, I do have both Patreon and PayPal link down below. Massive thank you to all my patrons. Thank you for supporting the channel. That's all I've got. See you next time. Bye, guys.